I was listening to a discourse last night on colours, and contrary to Paramahansa's view, I gravitate towards the view that the colours that should be being emitted by each chakra, so to speak, are according to the rainbow. 7 chakras, 7 colours. Red at the base, orange for creativity, coming up to the stomach chakra, yellow. The heart, green. The throat, blue. The medulla, indigo. Bit dark, but lighten up. And the eye, spiritual eye, so to speak, violet. We're concerned that the colours be light, clear, absolutely clear, beautiful. You know, red isn't bad, only if it's a sort of dirty, congealed blood. But the life-giving blood is a very bright red, apparently full of oxygen, iron and so forth. It's doing its job wonderfully. It's full of life. The life is in the blood. God is life, and life eternal. It's the living God, God of the living, for all live unto him. So red is for valour in battle, of course. Integrity. You're dealing with the king. The foundation, the rock of your society. The rock of justice and power and strength. Should be a perfect, bright, clear, vivid red. Creation is orange. Think of an orange for a moment. Vitamin C is in the orange, particularly normal, good fruit for vitamin C. Orange fruit, life, the immune system, ability to resist disease and ill health, quick recovery, wounds healing and so forth. Orange, which has a touch of the red and, of course, in a sense, a touch of the yellow. It's between the two, but it's a wavelength in its own right. So we come up to yellow for the stomach. Nourishment. How many fruits, not just their skins, but the actual flesh itself, is a sort of yellowy colour. Even the peach, it's got a blush of red on it when it's ripe, so has the apple and so on. Many apples are quite yellowish inside. Some are white, okay? We'll get to that. Some melons are a nice yellow colour. Pineapples, yellow colour. Ideal for food, for energy, for nutrition, power. The colour for this chakra is pure yellow. Sunlight, energy, power. It's the colour of the sun, isn't it? Our sun. Beautiful yellow. In fact, sunlight has a mixture of all, but a dominance of the yellow. We come up to the heart. It's green. We're talking about a pure, lovely green, not a dark, dirty, almost bark mixed green. The green of new shoots. Almost yellow, isn't it? Yellowy green in a way. But the green as a pure colour is for the heart. A green place is the perfect environment for life. See, the heart makes a perfect environment for life. Come up to the throat, Oh, we sing praises. Our words are as pure as the blueness of heaven. A beautiful blue. Beautiful, strong, vivid, clear blue. Not dark and heavy. You come up to the, going back a minute to the throat. We sing praises, the goodness of God, truth. It's clear, it's absolutely transparent. It's open, vast, and eternally endless. You can see to eternity through the truth. Sky's the limit. So we come up to the medulla. It's of truth. It's of guidance. Words, language, communication. It's of fluency. We receive the guidance and the power of God into the body. Energy flows through this. It's a deep, fast-moving river. A flow of energy and guidance. It projects onto the point between the third eye, point between the eyebrows. The colour of violet. Beautifully clear, pale violet. Crystal clear. Now the colour at each of these stations, each of these chakras, may be different. The one extreme would be black in all seven, in which case your existence would be just zero. The extreme opposite is brilliant white, the silver of the stars. At every location, well, you're glorious beyond belief. Certainly not what is normal here. So an angel appears in white. The demonic appears in black. Colour-coded. For ease of recognition. But beware, there can be deceit too. Dark colours tend to be deceit. The colour's not quite what it should be. Greys, browns and blacks, not good, not good. The good colours together should make white. After all, if you think of it, the sun is brilliant light that we're analysing, and it breaks down into these seven colours from our perception point of view. Of course, we pick up much more than that with radio telescopes and so on, but we have to give a colour to it so that we can discern the patterns of light that we're getting beyond the range of our eyes. So we translate it into our spectrum. And we choose the colours, of course. So when you look at these beautiful pictures of galaxies and star clusters and so on, and gas clouds, comets and so forth, well, you can't trust the colours. I mean, that's up to the photographer, translating, if you like, the radio telescope information. Tells us where the matter is, but doesn't indicate the fact that you wouldn't see it in those colours particularly. In fact, you might not see it at all because it's so far away. But the radio telescope can pick it up and can pick up these other wavelengths in particular at that distance. Well, I'm no expert in this field, so I stand to be corrected. Interesting case, I think, that Paramahansa sees the colours as differently. Now, it may be that he generally sees the colours differently like that, or it may be that he has seen certain people with the colours in a quite different order. And he expects to see, for instance, at the spiritual eye, a star surrounded by deep blue and bordered by golden colour. And that's what he expects a spiritual person to see. But it may be his understanding of a spiritual person. Similarly, he sees the stomach as red. We have to take into account that Paramahansa was clearly overweight. Does that have something to do with it? The stomach's not as it should be, so to speak. It occurs to me that the average state of the sort of people he was running into in the early to mid 20th century of the US, very materialistic people, not as suffering from overweight as much as when you get to the end of the century and now into the 21st. But if you like, the stomach is in a rage, in which case it might be the case that you tend to see dark red there. In fact, he could be looking at the darker colours invading strongly. It could be the case that all good colours should be in all domains, so that all good colours produce white, you see. But immaturity tends to have the rainbow order of colours dominating, and the dominance of a dark shade of a colour in any domain would be not good. In some sense, each domain should have its appropriate colour dominating in the absence of maturity. And each domain, therefore, gives light to the other domains and receives light from them. It's as if everything's either in order or not in order. To get in order, everything has to readjust. Unless you start from a situation of the rainbow selection, which in some sense is the ideal start, and may not be what you've inherited, if you like, from your previous incarnation, if we take that view, and now have to deal with. I still maintain that if you strongly work on the nirvanic domains, their completeness will transform all the other domains, if you like, to white light as well. Thank you, Dad. Well, in that case, it might be the case that Paramahansa was seeing, for instance, American culture in the mid 20th century, and indeed his own Indian culture he was seeing what is, not what, in some sense, ideally should be. So instead of seeing the rainbow order of colours, he was seeing the disorder of both Western society and his Indian culture society as well. I mean, I'm only suggesting here, you know. I mean, he says categorically, but these are the colours that I see. Right, fair enough. But it's not somehow the colours I expect to see. Especially red in the stomach. Blue in the heart region. No green at all, which is compassion, of course. And really, that's not so far of the mark, is it? I mean, compassion's not strong in a Buddhist culture. Not strong in any culture that thinks that, in some sense, your present karma is determining the problem you're dealing with. You're, in some sense, hinted to be the blame, the cause, in a previous incarnation. And similarly with the West too, it's inherited some sort of semblance of the Christian religion, which is obsessed with the problem of sin and well, black and red really, dark red I mean. And certainly someone like the early Theosophists were au fait with seeing the colours all over the place according to what terrible mood the subject was in, or disease, or ignorance, or his general spiritual development. Colours could be anywhere depending on the good or bad condition. And again, they were saying categorically, this is what we've seen. And, we get an artist to, in some sense, give expression to it. Well, I think I'll leave it there. Thank you, Dan.